Hey guys, welcome back to my videos and to my channel if you're new here. This is going to be a video helping you guys in any aspect of manifesting that you're struggling with or working on. Manifesting fast, speeding things up, although it's not so much like tips and tricks to speed up your manifestation. It's more about how to view things and what mindset to go in with, how to work on your mindset to really manifest quickly. That's what I'm getting into today. If this sounds interesting to you guys, then I would love for you to become a subscriber. There's at least 50, maybe even 60% of you guys who watch my videos, come back, but don't click subscribe. It's free, quick, easy, and you get much faster access to my videos, and you let YouTube know that you actually enjoy my content. If you want even more details on how to speed up your manifestation, detailed tips and advice, then I delve much more into this through my membership, the LOA Coaching Darlings, also linked below. The join button's right below. Everything is in the description box. So take a look if that's interesting to you guys and you feel that you need that extra support, or you can coach with me. Everything else is on screen. So that's my little overview. And now let's jump into the video. Your manifestation doesn't need to take ages to come together. I do personally believe in perfect timing, not exactly the phrase divine timing, but I do believe that everything has its own time and coming together naturally in its own way. But you can prevent delays. You can speed things up. It doesn't have to be a long process. You don't have to assume or believe that manifesting is difficult, that it has to take, so much effort and time and energy. It can be much more simpler and enjoyable. And the law of assumption, the principles really tie into this. So with your assumptions shaping everything, the law of the law of assumption is all about how your assumptions shape everything. So I feel like the word assumption just messed that sentence up a little bit. Essentially, the principles are all about your mindset creating your reality. Internally, you're creating and shaping the results externally. Whether you're experiencing high quality positive experiences or negative low quality experiences in life, it's down to your mindset and it's shaped by your thoughts, what you teach your subconscious mind through repetition. So that's what it all ties into with the law of assumption. You can speed everything up by realizing and practicing and understanding how you can think and catch negative thoughts throughout the day in order to think more predominantly around the new positive story that you want to create, that your affirmations are all about. Also, not waiting around, not coming from the state of lack or desperation or need. You don't need to wait to see the results of your manifestation. You don't need to wait around or seek out signs, evidence, proof, gain any form of validation, which oftentimes does come to when it's to do with a specific person, which I know is tempting and easy and somewhat natural to want to physically fix the problem and have conversations and hear your, specific person or someone in your life tell you what you want to hear. But that's not going to create permanent shifts and changes. It's not going to bring in what you want. So you don't, again, make it a point for yourself. Don't look for signs. Don't look for evidence. Don't try and seek out, what movement is there? How has my reality changed? Has this email come in? Has this person done that thing that I'm waiting for them to do? Whatever it is, don't wait around. Don't keep checking on it, because that's telling your mind, I'm looking for something that I don't yet have. I'm looking for something that I don't think exists in my reality. You're not telling your mind that you have what you want. You're not building up positive habits, because going out, or even if it's literally just logging on Instagram and trying to check on things, that's not coming from the new mindset. That's not coming from the end result. That's not how you think from the end. So you don't need to look for signs or evidence. You're going to speed things up by just focusing on your affirmations. Whether you believe it or not, telling your mind your affirmations, focusing on that, having those types of inner conversations and, thinking throughout the day thoughts that align with, I already have this end result. Isn't it amazing? I love how my life has shifted for the better now that this is in my reality. So stop focusing on what there is a lack of and playing into this lack mindset, victim mindset of, I don't have it, I need to create this result, I need to work to, change everything that's so negative in my circumstances right now. Remind yourself those are irrelevant. Everything is shaped by my assumptions. So whatever you repetitively assume and tell yourself through repetition becomes a belief eventually, even if right now it seems, a little unbelievable. And start assuming and working to build into that belief, I already have it. So not SP hasn't texted me yet. SP texts me all the time. Or I don't know why it's taking so long. It was so quick for it to manifest. I'm so glad I have it now. Changing your thoughts, literally turning it into that positive mindset that aligns with it. It doesn't have to be the exact same word. It doesn't have to be your affirmation. I tend to recommend to my clients to just focus on the affirmation. If something more specific and, in the moment isn't required, it's fine just to say your affirmation, because then you're just changing around to the positive and you're instantly saying, okay, I've memorized that affirmation. That's all I need to say right now. If you can't do any more than that, it's still okay. So the key element that you want to get to and the end goal is believing that you have it, believing that it's real, that it's yours, that it's so realistic and normal. That's what you're creating day by day. Eventually you will get to that point. It will feel realistic and believable and within reach. And probably you'll see the physical movement. You'll actually start creating that result itself. So all of it builds into itself and feeds on that and builds it up. And you don't need to worry about how that's going to happen. That's another thing, seeking signs or evidence, as well as trying to figure out, well, how is it going to come in? Well, what about this circumstance? Don't try and analyze, don't try and apply logic, because that's what is going to make it seem crazy and unrealistic and delusional, and you're going to struggle to believe it, and you're going to have more of those negative opposing thoughts come up in your conscious mind that, says, oh, this is why you can't have your end result, or why it's taking so long. It doesn't matter what the reason is, as long as you keep thinking from the new version. The how works itself out. You don't figure that out. Manifestation would be almost impossible, because we're not God. We can't literally say, oh, I'm going to create this miracle, this result, and, make all these pieces here like a game of chess, move on their own. And I'm just going to, snap my fingers and, everything's going to shift. And that reminds me of Thanos from the Avengers as well. Like, it doesn't work that way. The how of how things happen unfold on their own way. The circumstances will shift. So yeah, whether you want to, whatever reference you want to think of, you don't control the how. That comes together in its own way. We don't need to understand every single element. Logic is not part of manifestation. Your mental diet is also another really key element. If you struggle a lot, you do want to be on a good mental diet. Start learning to, control your thoughts like a pro. You'll find that it becomes like second nature. It's almost automatic the way you can flip those thoughts around, but you need to start now. You need to start and build up that habit for it to become more easy, more natural. So it's about building up the habit of, when doubt comes up, when the opposition to your end result comes up in some way in front of you, whatever it is in your 3D reality, you say, it's already done, it's already mine, I already have this, and you learn to flip it around. So it's built up through consistency, changing it around, like I said, from the state of lack of, trying to question things and feed into the conscious thoughts that you may have, to then saying, it's already mine, I don't need to figure it out. I'm applying my mental diet now. I'm telling myself I already have it, because your mindset will be shifted. You will convince your own mind. So really the secret to speeding it all up is having no resistance, but that mental resistance is broken down over time with effort, with consistency, with persisting. That's what I've always been, saying and trying to, encourage you guys with. That's always the key element, being consistent, putting the methods and techniques into practice, but then actually doing them day in, day out. Even when things get tough, you try your best to keep applying them. That's really the secret to everything. So I think I'm going to leave this video here. Hopefully that was useful advice for you guys and you found some extra clarity, or it got you back on track if you felt that you were doubting or wavering. Because you really don't need to wait a long time to manifest. You can speed things up by really getting on top of your own mindset and seeing where the positive shifts can be brought in. So if you did enjoy, please do thumbs up, subscribe, turn on that notification bell, and I will see you guys next time.